Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Tuesday, April the 30th, 2013, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. Want to first start off by taking a look to see how the indices close the session here for the day. The Dow Jones was up 21 points, the Nasdaq was up 21.77, and the S&P 500 was up close to 4 points. If we take a look at the breadth on the market today, we had 3,911 issues advancing on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex. We had 2,158 issues declining on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex. Therefore, breadth was in favor of the bulls today, along with the fact that we had 710 issues making new highs and 60 issues making new lows. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the charts here, starting off with the SPY, which is the S&P 500 ETF. SPY closed at 159.68. We hit a high on today's session of 159.72. The high that we made back here on April the 11th was 159.71. So we did make new 52-week highs on the S&P via this SPY ETF by a penny. All right. At the same time, on the ES, on the ES we hit a high of 194.25 currently right now. So we have made new highs on the futures as well. All right, so as far as the market goes for tomorrow, one thing that I'm watching here, you can see that we've been having this declining volume pattern here since the 18th. All right, we had a nice little break above that little downward trend line today. We're going to watch this to see if this carries into tomorrow's action. We have two consecutive higher closes after today's session. We're going to see that continues to trend going into tomorrow. All right, if you take a look at the chart here, we're above all these key short-term moving averages. We're above the 5, the 8, the 20, the 50. And now we're pushing these highs right here, trying to make new highs. Well, we made a new high by a penny, but we want to see a nice little breakout over that high with some volume to confirm that we could get a nice little continuation pattern. One thing that I wanted to show you guys, if you take a look at the ES hourly chart that I have on my system here. Let me take off my studies real quick. Hide the rectangles. Oops. Hide the rectangles. Hide the price levels. Hide the price levels. And you can see we have now developed this nice little upward channel. All right. One thing that you could do to use as a gauge of this upward channel to see who's in control, you will draw a 50% channel line. All right. And I'm actually putting that in right now myself. And what you can see here is that 50% channel line. This is going to take us up here towards, looks like 15. 1 second. If we start holding above 15.97, like going into tomorrow's session, if we're above this 50% channel line and we're holding above it, you would have to expect we're probably going to try to continue going into tomorrow. Tomorrow could be a big day. All right, we'll have to see. At the same time, it could be a day where we get rejected at this 50% trend line and start to move back down towards this area right here. We'll have to see again tomorrow. And we'll keep you guys updated with that. If you want to come into our chat room, mywallstreettv.com. To get the password, you have to go to wallstreettrading.com and fill out the 14-day free trial for the room. But we'll pretty much be on top of that tomorrow with the levels. And again, if you can always follow us on Facebook where we post all the information on our levels that we watch in the morning here. So in any case, keep this in mind. We are in a nice little upward channel now that you can see it pretty clear developed on the ES here. The last leg up that we had came from this little downward break of this little bullish channel that knocked us up yesterday. They did a nice little shakeout pattern today this morning, guys. They broke us below this 1586 level, trapped some shorts in there, and then rocketed us back up. So we have a nice little bear trap to work off of. So anybody that's still trying to hope that the market is coming down, that got short at below this 1586, they're still holding that short. It's going to be a question of tomorrow. If we're still trending high overnight, how much pain can they take? So target on the ES, if this channel plays out, will be towards the top of the channel up there towards 1610. And then, if tomorrow, if we have trouble holding above 15.99 or this whole middle trend line right here, you want to be cautious that the market could pull back down. All right, so I would definitely keep that channel on your screens to watch that. In any case, let's go and take a look at the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq did lead the market today, thanks to Apple having another day up. Apple's up over 2.94. Apple's up 2.94% today. Microsoft continued up 1.5%. IBM continued 1.7%. We're starting to see a little sector rotation into some of these tech stocks, and some of these stocks have are getting bought up off the lows. One thing to take note of, though, is the volume that we've been getting for the past 1, 2, 3, 4 days on the triple Qs, which is the NASDAQ 100 ETF, has been pretty low. All right, and we are trading above that key level that I showed you guys before from the 50% Fibonacci retracement from the 2000 tech bubble sell-off. Okay, that's at 70.52. If we start breaking above 70.52 and holding above 70.52, the 61.8% retracement is around 82.37, and you can see the Nasdaq could, the Nasdaq could be the index to lead us up, for this quarter here. As you can see, if it could break over 70.72 and hold, we have this nice space to move up into in this little upward channel that we've been on the monthly time frame. You take a look at the weekly time frame on the left-hand side. You can see that little consolidation that we had, this little choppy action that we had down here. We are finally holding above 68. Got a nice little break, this little action right there. So I would say holding above 70 on the Nasdaq going forward would be bullish, and we definitely have to start putting some of these technology stocks back on our radar. And again, we'll be on top of that. If you want to participate with us, make sure you go to wallstreettrading.com and find out how to be a part of the mywallstreettv.com trading room. All right, so the triple Qs holding above the 70 level is good, and if we can get a break above, I would say 71 and start trending higher, that would be pretty good as well. All right, we are watching this little key upward trend line that we have from this little channel right here. I can actually adjust this channel a little bit to these highs, and voila, same thing. We got to break over this, I would say, the 71 area. We do have 2 confirmed higher closes, and we'll see if we get another one tomorrow. All right, let's go back and take a look at the IWM, the index that led us up this year. Okay, holding back above 92.70. Some resistance around this 94.5 area, then these highs up here around 94.96. Same thing, second consecutive higher close today. Volume's trying to come right back in the IWM. Volume's still kind of low. We can start to see that pick up a bit there. But we'll be looking for this thing to go back and test these highs of 94, 98, call it 95. If the market continues to do what it did today, and dip buyers continue to get paid in this market. All right, and that's about it for the indices. Let's go ahead and take a look at the VIX real quick to see what that VIX did today. VIX, again, choppy, not really doing much. Looks like it really wants to break down again. If we break below, I would say 13, this thing could go all the way back down to 12 and all the way back down to 11. We do have this little consolidation right here off this little up move, this down move that came in. Excuse me, off this down move that came in. So we have to watch that 13 level on the VIX. Let's take a look at that dollar index that has been showing weakness for the past couple sessions here. Again, dollar breaking below 82. All right, I mentioned the fact that this dollar starts to break down. We can see some of these commodity stocks that have been losing steam catch a bid. Today on the trading desk, we were trading Halliburton, power stock today. We'll talk about that here shortly as well. All right, if this dollar continues to move lower, we're going to watch those commodity stocks to see if they can catch that bid. All right, keep an eye on those coal stocks that they've been getting beaten up as well. There may be some buys starting to come into those names as that dollar declines and those hard asset commodities start to catch a bid. Okay, so we're going to be watching, again, that dollar, keeping on this trend line right here. If we start breaking below that key trend line right here, call it 81.50, we could definitely look for some more downside action. The dollar has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive lower closes, so it is now trending down off of this lower high pivot that it put in, off of this back test of the upward channel action that we have right here as well. All right, if we take a look at the euro dollar, we can see what we have going on here. All right, the euro dollar getting a nice bounce today. Let me put my channels on here real quick. 1 second. Daily chart. All right, the euro dollar getting a nice little bounce here. I haven't showed you guys the channel system in a while on the euro dollar. Let me adjust the channels here real quick. All right, but you can see we are coming right back into that little channel right there that we highlighted before from the breakdown. Okay, this little breakdown action right here, we call that, if you go back to our videos, we call the breakdown right here on the euro. We also call the opportunity to look for a bounce in the euro down here. So, I mean, if you trade currencies, come and check us out as well. We do some analysis on the euro. We don't trade it, but we do do some decent analysis on it to try to get a gauge of how the equities and how, risk on, risk off type of stuff there. So, anyways, the euro's looking good. If we break over the 132 level on the euro, we probably get some stops that are going to get hit from people that got short 2 weeks ago, and that could cause another pop in the euro up towards this 132 half level, which, of course, should equivalent to the market getting a nice little move higher, the dollar getting a nice little move lower, and these commodities catching a bid. So we'll keep you guys up to date with that. You take a look at the gold sector, starting off with the gold futures. Gold futures, let's see, the commodities overnight when we came into the open this morning, gold and silver they had a nice little spike in the morning. Actually, I could bring the chart up here real quick. But gold and silver They had a nice little spike here in the morning. All right, that got sold off and they bought it right back a little bit. You take a look at the gold contract. This is the 15-minute chart, by the way, during the session. You can see gold futures had a nice little spike at 3:30 in the morning from 1462 half all the way to 1478. I think it has to do with the economic data being bad out of Europe, so people are expecting Thursday for them to ease their policy, meaning more QE for those those countries over there. Okay, so either way, gold, had a nice little bounce up today. Let's take a look at the GLD real quick here. All right, GLD is bouncing. Had a nice little bounce today up 47 cents. It's still at a risky area if you're looking to pick this up here. I mean, if you wanted to buy gold, you had an opportunity to buy it down here at 132, 134. You don't want to buy it up here at 142. Even if it continues higher, you still want to wait for a pullback. Again, you missed your opportunity to buy it 2 weeks ago, and there's no point in trying to buy it up here. All right, unless there's some news that comes out and the thing just rips off. Thing just rips higher. I mean, so that's something you're going to watch. Another thing that you want to watch in the GLD is this nice little consolidation range that we have right here that we broke down out of. So that level for a back test may act as a magnet. All right, and that level will be 149.45 half, or call it 150. So if we break over a 144 and we start to trend higher, look for that 150 to be the next level to get hit. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the GDX, the gold miners. A lot of the commodities had a nice little bounce off the lows. Gold miners are trying to catch a bid here. Again, we have to watch these commodity stocks for the fact that the dollar continues to get weak, where we should see a bid, reinflation bid, or just a bid in general in these basic material stocks and these commodity stocks. All right, GDX, keep an eye if it could get over this 31 level and hold. We'll be looking for a gap fill up towards 32. I'll be doing some more research tonight on those names. Let's take a look at crude oil futures. All right, going into driving to the office this morning, I was listening to Bloomberg Radio, and the guy was saying how the gentleman on TV, the analyst, he was saying how he expects crude oil to make a big move sometime in Q3, and that's exactly what I've been telling you guys. All right, except which way is it going to go? If you take a look at the monthly chart, all right, you can see the monthly chart's forming this nice big triangle right here. All right, and you can see we are forming a triangle off the down move. Now, these triangles usually continue in the direction of the trend. The trend is still to the downside if you take a look at these lower highs being put in. All right, so we could break down. At the same time, we have a nice little squeeze pattern right here, and the short-term trend is a little bit higher. We are making these higher lows. We just haven't made the higher high yet. So I guess you could say, yeah, we're still in a downtrend, but we are trying to trend up a little bit here. We got to make a new pivot high, which if that was to happen, that would be first above 100 and then above 110, 114. But, those are crazy prices right there, so let's not talk about that. Let's just wait to see what happens. If you take a look at the weekly chart, the same triangle you have on the screen right there, we had another back test of that key trend line that we had from the original momentum trend line break play right here. All right, this is one. We had another back test right here. This is a breakout. One second. This is a breakout. This is a back test that got the bounce. We talked about that in one of our weekend review videos. And then this is another back test that held again. So if we get over 95, then we get over these 98s, we can see a nice move up towards 100. Obviously, we're consumers, so we don't want to see those gas prices go up a lot. But if crude oil goes up, those gas prices are going to go up, of course. But, crude oil holding a bit above 94, call it 95, would be bullish for to try to break past 98 right now. This whole 95 zone right here is resistance, okay? Keep that in mind there. All right, and if you trade the USO to trade crude oil, all right, USO. All right, got rejected right here at the 200-day moving average. Okay. All right, folks, so let's go ahead and talk about some stocks now. I want to talk about these basic material stocks real quick, starting off with X. US still, they had some, I don't believe they had earnings out today. One second. No, they didn't have, did US still have earnings today? I think US still had earnings today. I'm not quite sure. I just know the stock's been in play lately, but we've been trading this one in the room here. You can see this one's in a nice little downward bullish channel. All right, flash below the channel a little bit, flash below the channel a little bit, but now you can see it's trying to hold this 17 level. It gapped down this morning. And recovered. All right, give me 1 second real quick. All right, so U.S. still did have earnings this morning. They had a quarterly earnings report, and the company reported 16 cents earnings per share for the quarter, beating the Thomson Reuters consensus estimate of 19 cents by 3 cents. Okay, I think that was for a loss. I mean, they lost 16 cents versus the loss they were expected to lose of 19 cents. The company had revenue of 4.6 billion for the quarter compared to the consensus estimate of 4.66 billion. So they came in a little bit short on the revenue side, but I guess you could say they lost less than expected. So that was bullish for the stock. So the stock gap down, was able to recover. CLF has been trying to get a bounce as well. But either way, X looks good if it can break over these 1794s or 1815s or so. We can maybe get a nice little traction, try to move back to the top of the channel. This is like a little nice little downward bullish pattern there. Let's take a look at that 60-minute chart. And the 60-minute chart, you can see the gap down and recovery right here. So keep an eye on those 1791s, call it 18. All right, if you take a look at CLF, another basic material stock, this one has been getting a nice little bounce lately as well. And this one breaking over 22 and breaking above these 50-day simple moving averages right here should make a nice move up towards 26, the next moving average up here in this little area. What else? Another basic material stock we want to take a look at, FCX. FCX trying to get a bounce. FCX is going to need to get over 31 and try to build a base there before we try to get, look for FCX to try to maybe bounce up towards this 34 level. It needs to get back above 31. As you can see, it's breaking down out of this range. It broke down out of this range right here, and this 31 area will be like a back test unless we break above it and hold above it. All right, let's talk about some tech stocks. I know you guys want to hear about Apple. Apple Computers has been on a nice little move here. AAPL has finally got a nice close above the 50-day exponential and simple moving average. If this thing continues to hold above this 440 level, look for a move back up towards 468, 465 or so. IBM had a nice little bounce today as well. Continuation move. Looks like it wants to go up towards gap fill right down here around 207. All right. Microsoft, MSFT, continuation move. And this one today breaking over 33. Volume still in the chart. The stock's in play right now, folks. So keep this one on your screen. Stock has a target all the way up towards 37 if this thing wants to catch a real fire underneath it. And you can see it's trending pretty nice on the 60-minute chart. It just broke out in the last hour there. What else here? What else do I want to talk about? Halliburton. Let's take a look at some of these energy stocks here. Halliburton, which I call Halliberry, breaking out of a nice little downward bullish channel. You can see volume coming in. We were trading this all day today in the office today here, buying the dips in the stock. You can see the stock set up, held this nice little level down here around 41.80, gave you a nice little entry right here, and then for the whole day, buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip. It's working. So keep an eye on this stock for tomorrow. Again, this stock has a target up here towards 44, which is $1.30 away, and then we'll be looking for that continue. Because if you take a look at the weekly chart, you can see a little bit better breaking out this nice little downward bullish channel. The monthly chart, nice little close with this hammer right here. This is my stock that I think you can hold for the quarter, all right, and get a nice return on your money. All right, folks, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning, bright and early. We're going to be kicking off a new video series called the Pre-Market Wrap-Up, something like that. Haven't decided the name yet, but it'll pretty much give you guys a sense of what we're looking at in the morning with the levels that we're watching on the ES. So when we say, okay, for example, today we had on the ES, we had 1582 as a back test level to get long the market, and that worked. If you take a look at my channel system, which I have not been showing you guys as of late, all right, just been keeping it behind the scenes for you guys, but you can see we've been maneuvering through the markets pretty well through these channel levels. All right, so that's about it, guys. Have a great night. Catch you guys in the morning. Cheers.